infomercials, Juggalo shows, super geniuses, and fucking furries. What do they all have in common? We're going to talk about it. The Beard Speaks on a Saturday right now.
Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
What up, heads? You know what it is. You know what it does. My name is Chuck Reeves. I am that man that they call the East Coast Beast host. The man that behind closed doors, I'm certain that the Bruce brothers swear up and down God's green earth, hoping I befall all sorts of negative happenings. But Saturday night, I know it's a weird time, weird day. It's 9:00 p.m. We in the prime time, if that's what you want to call it. And I appreciate you all fucking joining me today. I see some flame emojis in this chat. I see some skulls. I see Big Will. I see Dana. I see Chris Craze. I see Hot Rod. I see Zonger. I see TC, Total Chaos in this motherfucker. Scottish Misfit. Lots of stuff to talk about. I put it off Thursday. I put it off last night. It seems like there's some confusion as to what's going on. I want to make my statements on certain things very clear. I want to give you guys a rundown of this Juggalo show. I want to give you a rundown of the Elon Musk situation and how it ties in, and how all this kind of ties in to this furry situation and that video that I uploaded right here on the Chuck Reeves channel yesterday. It hasn't been taken down yet. I'm a little surprised. But apparently we're snake busting now. So we're going to be snake busting all night tonight. Busting them snakes. First things first, though, please, especially if you're new to the show, make sure you subscribing. Make sure you're either liking or disliking the program. Make sure you're sharing this bitch. Let your friends know what you're watching. I'm going to be in the chat as much as possible. I got the chat on my phone so I can read it properly. And I'm hoping that you guys have some good interactions and some good input in tonight's conversation. Right off rip, I guess we can talk about the Gathering infomercial. You know, heavily anticipated every year. This year, not as involved as previous years. And what I mean by that is Jay and Shags were the only two individuals, for the most part, featured in the infomercial. There was a very, very short cameo by a man that we know as Jay Webb. Hold on, let me pull up a picture of that right quick so y'all heads can see that. But Jay Webb making either his triumphant return, or maybe this is an old picture of the homeboy, but he was at the end. Most of this motherfucking thing was Jay and Shags talking about everything we already knew about the Gathering of the Juggalos. There were no surprises. There were no major announcements to be had in that infomercial that we didn't already know. No added headliners. No real added events. Kind of didn't hold my fucking... It really didn't hold my attention very well. It just seemed like a, however long, 19-minute hippie joke. But slid in there was something funky and cool, at least from my perspective. All right? Don't think I didn't notice this fucking wonderful thing. Let me replay it for everybody. All right. So I get that it's potentially not directly directed towards me, but at this point in everything, you shouldn't put those two words together and have nobody say to you, you know he's going to take it like that. So even if you didn't mean it like that, you knew I was going to take it like that. I'm not mad. I mean, I would be on some fuck Chuck shit too if I had somebody with a long beard and no hair on his fucking head revealing all the fucking terrible, fucked up fuckery going on in my business. But come on, man, for real. In the Gathering of the Juggalos infomercial, you could have fucking told me to go fuck myself over the phone. It's not like you heads ain't got my number. So that stuck out to me, like, in a real serious way. This fuck Chuck. Now, obviously, I added the text, and I turned it into the GIF that I've been using all week. Some people told me that should be my new intro. I can't say I disagree with you folks. But, I don't know. I don't want to dwell on that, because it's at this point, that shit's just funny to me. And kind of like what I had said before, if you wanted to say fuck me, it'd be very easy for you to do so. Who's hitting me up? Let's see. I got a Gmail from PayPal. Look at that. Oh, yeah, the PayPal is open. If you're interested in dropping the beard a donation, super chats are also open, of course. Merch is available. Hit me up. Find out more. We got stuff going on. You know how it is. It's fucking Saturday. I'm going to kind of keep it fucking, like, loose. Keep it casual. Snakes. I see snakes in the chat. Watch out. We're going to bust them. We're going to talk about that. I mean, that was a huge part of the other night's Juggalo show. But the Gathering infomercial, I was expecting more. I don't know about y'all, but with this being Whoop Stock and, you know, they were leaning a lot on the Clownvis Presley guy who they got, who does, like, remakes of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song dressed as Elvis with clown paint on. Like, they were leaning real hard on that shit. I'm just, at this point, I don't even know, I feel beaten down by it all. Because it's just all very disappointing. It's just all very, very underwhelming, very disappointing. It's disappointing we didn't get some, well, I say we, but that's more y'all than me, didn't get some sort of a larger announcement to make the funds you're going to spend going out there and having a good time worth it. But the infomercial was what it was. And short of that fuck Chuck shit, I don't even think this infomercial is powerful enough or, I don't know, weird enough or funny enough to reach the viral status that previous Gathering of the Juggalos infomercials had received. We'll see if we get some new SNL take on the shit. Doubtful. At this point, those two old men sitting there in front of that van talking about Whoop Stock in the days of old are probably closer to the real deal of Shags and Violent J than we actually realize. So that came out, what, Wednesday? So, yeah. So, Gathering infomercial drop Wednesday. Thursday night Juggalo show featuring Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, the Insane Clown Posse. I had a show talking about what they should and shouldn't be talking about, and they stayed away from pretty much everything they said, everything that I said that they shouldn't talk about. They stayed away entirely from things Magic Ninja related. That's a fucking great change of pace from Violent J's previous appearances on the Juggalo show. They kept shit super duper positive, albeit a little weird at fucking times. I got some notes. I sat here, I watched it. I watched pretty much the entirety up until they got to that fucking ninja fight thing that didn't make any sense and wasn't as entertaining as it should have been. But I listened to most of it, watched most of it, and I mean, I figure I'll just go through my notes, and if I have to explain further, I will. But first note, and it's got big stars drawn around it, and it's something I immediately noticed. Rude Boy equals Fat Carlos Santana. If you saw him, he looked like Carlos Santana from 1960-something with a drug rug and a headband, but about 200 pounds motherfucking heavier. So I tweeted that to him, that he was a chubby Carlos Santana. But that was first. That was the first most blatant fucking thing I noticed from the studio is Rude Boy equals Fat Carlos Santana. I don't even think you can get mad about that. So there's that. They were talking about the producers and the history of greats that have come out of the Lotus Pod, come out of the Cabin in the Woods, which I guess that's what they're calling Jay's basement. And, you know, they brought up names like Mike P and Kuma and Mikey Clark, and they did all this in a way to kind of bring Straightjacket into that conversation as one of the psychopathic greats, which I understand them doing so. No mention of Young Wicked. Now, I know I said you shouldn't talk about that dude, and I stick by that. I think at the moment, any discussion of him, at least in the negative, is not good. It's not good for fucking business. But when you talk about being down with all previous psychopathic producers and that you have a history of greats, even though you didn't say his name, I, and a lot of people like me, have to assume that you're including Otis in that conversation. But it's dope that they, you know, put a little shine on those producers. I don't know what triggered that per se. Straightjacket is doing a lot of work on the remaster of the Para Isla Misery record that's dropping at the Gathering, as well as the brand new Misery record that nobody's heard. Next note, that new Misery record that you're going to get free if you purchase the 20th anniversary re-release of Para Isla, you're going to get this new Misery record, and one of the features on this new Misery record is Last American Rockstar's own and D12 veteran, Bizarre. Now, when Joe heard Bizarre was on the Misery record, now this is where part of my confusion comes in, is as much influence as he has in that company, he doesn't seem to know a lot about what's going on in the day-to-day, which that's upsetting. That's really upsetting because he didn't know that Bizarre had a feature on one of the records his company is releasing. But nonetheless, when he heard Bizarre's name, and he went ahead and said, oh, Bizarre's on that Misery record, his response was fresh, I'm quoting, fucking fresh, and dope. And that's because that's what it is. It's dope anytime you get a dope-ass collab on something coming out, because it can do nothing but draw interest towards your project. Now, for anybody thinking that this is some sort of a new feature, you're super duper mistaken. And I would probably guarantee, or at least fucking bet, that this feature from Bizarre was purchased well before any sort of beef started between Magic Ninja, and definitely before Bizarre and Gordy signed as part of that Lars project. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that they would let that slide through. There are some stories about certain work featuring some people not being allowed to come out because of some, you know, hurt feelings, sour grapes, and saltiness. But I can't see him badmouthing this one, and I'm glad he didn't. They talked about the Gathering a little bit. They talked about Yellow Wolf. And what stuck out to me about that was that they referred to Yellow Wolf as returning to the Gathering of the Juggalos. And I'm just a little confused. Maybe somebody in the live chat knows more than me in regards to this. But did Yellow Wolf play the Gathering of the Juggalos previous to this year? Did he show up with like Haystack or somebody? Because I don't remember hearing about him being a main stage headliner. That's for fucking sure. Especially not in these last few years when that would be big news. I mean, let me know in the chat. Like, get in that chat and let me know what's cracking. Yeah, which Gathering? Because maybe I'm fucking confused. I tried looking it up, and yeah, Total Chaos is telling me that he's played the Gathering before. See, I have no reason to disbelieve that. I just didn't know. I just was not. Did he come with Ritz, maybe? Was it? Did he? See, there you go. I don't even know. So my opinion means shit. So they discussed that. They discussed some of the headliners. Like I said, they talked about this Elvis fucking Presley Clownvis dude at length. Played a couple of his videos. Joe said, everyone who matters is back. So if we're talking about who matters to who, I guess maybe the people that matter to him have returned. Tech 9, people like that. If this is essentially the biggest negative statement out of Joe all night, this was the most negative, if you can even take it as that. This is in some ways can be taken as like a backhanded diss by saying, you know, those people who aren't back don't matter. But it's pretty funny that you have artists like Buckshot who were whatever, not invited or whatever. They marched. I thought if you marched, you mattered. So everybody who's back, everybody who matters is back. But everybody who's back didn't march. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. Yo, I'm not bad-mouthing Clownvis Presley or whatever. I'm not bad-mouthing Clownvis. What I'm saying is, I thought this was about the underground. Maybe I'm confused as to what this whole thing was from Jump Street. I thought this was about us creating our own world. I really thought that that's what this was about. Us making our own way. Us being the deciders of our destinies. All right, so it looks pretty much that in 2014, Yellow Wolf did play The Gathering. I'll buy that. I'll buy that for a fucking $1. Let's see. Jay talked about there being an overabundance of shit to talk about at the seminar. I agree. You got Triple F, the next Joker's card. You got to talk about that because you ain't talked about that really at all. And they touched about on it like very little. And it was funny the way Shaggy's reactions during this show were probably some of the fucking funniest things because he was like, yeah, we worked on it. What does that mean? What does that mean? You worked on the record? Because they were trying to get some sort of a, well, how close is it? Are you almost done? 60% or something, I think is what they said. I don't know. But it was quite amusing just to see Shaggy's reactions to not only some of the questions, but also just to Joe in particular. I wrote down Jay is wild smacked. Because he was. It's clear at this point, due to his confusion and other things. Now, the slurring of the words and it sounded like he had something in his mouth. He might have gotten new teeth. Somebody told me that Jay's teeth are fucking rotten. And if he got new teeth and maybe they're not sized right, they might be too big for his mouth. Because he kind of sounds like he has a grill in. I don't know if anybody noticed that. I got 2 messages about it during the broadcast that people thought maybe he was drunk. And I don't think that maybe had anything to do with intoxication. Now, other stuff, the fidgeting, the inability to really focus, the confusion about certain things, which we'll get into like real quick. Because the confusion, right after I noticed how smacked he was, the confusion started. And by then, we were over an hour into the show. Yeah, but he might have just gotten new teeth. Like, I don't know. I don't know maybe if he got new teeth and they're just too large for his grill. Like, I mean, that shit can happen. So, there's that. It seems like he's either on something or he's sick. Let's see. All right, so at the hour mark, this is where things got kind of definitely more entertaining. I don't know if it was intentional, but about an hour in, we get Jay's confusion at the idea of 3-on-3 basketball. The guys started talking about the fact Ice Cube was going to be at the Little Caesars Arena with his Big 3 3-on-3 basketball organization. If you're not familiar with the Big 3, It's an upstart by Ice Cube. They travel from city to city, play 3-on-3. Teams being made up of NBA and college superstars of the past. So dudes like Chauncey Billups. I know there was some talk of AI going into his league. It's for like basketball heads. If you're a basketball head, it's going to watch greats play ball. Now, they're past their prime, and these games aren't as competitive or high-paced or as exciting as NBA games. But the Big Three is trying to establish itself as something different, a companion piece to the NBA, and they actually have a pretty dope television deal with NBC to air these games. For whatever reason, Jay just couldn't understand 3-on-3 basketball. He kept asking what they meant. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, he was mad confused. 3 dudes versus 3 dudes in a game of basketball, fam. They do it at the YMCA all the time. If you need, like, how do you not? Now that's the beginning of the confusion. Like, that's the beginning of it. I wrote down Jay is wild smacked again. I got Clownvis written down. Now, one of the songs they played by Clownvis was something about GMOs, and I thought that was funny, that it was like a pro-GMO song, in title only, title and lyrics only, but pro-genetically modified organisms. Let's see. They didn't really, they talked a very little about Elon Musk. They talked about Jay. All right. This is where the confusion all comes in on my part, because they jumped around a bunch. They talked a little about Triple F. Then they talked a very little bit about Elon Musk. Now, we'll talk about the Elon Musk thing separate and what went down there. Then they get into deadbeat dad talk on Jay's behalf. And then how Jay's confusion over slime. So apparently Jay went to the store with his kid. And they bought slime. If you're not familiar with slime is, it's a fucking toy. It's exactly what it's called. It's slime. It's something for kids to play with. The big thing now is everything's got a food scent to it. There's actually Shopkins, which are little toys that smell like fucking whatever. The slime starts smelling like things. So apparently he bought sour apple slime. Then at some point during his purchase, his kid alerted him to the fact that he couldn't eat it. So instead of just saying, oh, okay, I'm confused, I was confused by the packaging, let me just go ahead and put this back if I'm not going to purchase it because I can't eat it. Apparently Jay bothered a Walmart manager and like took this problem to him, admittedly knowing that this was not that dude's problem and that this was a problem from whatever company made the motherfucking product. So this story somehow leads Jay to believe that stuff like that is him getting snaked. And then they lead to this video, and I guess I'll play it. Let me pull up the page right quick. Because of what happened in the store with Jay's confusion, as well as what happened when I guess he ordered his daughter a $750 furry suit, which, I mean, I guess we got to talk about that too. He's decided that he's going on some sort of crusade against what he calls snaky businesses. And trust me, I can taste the irony. I can taste the fucking irony on this one. So let me go ahead and pull this up. So all that talk about him getting confused by the slime and then his, you know, interactions with the store manager and that the store manager told him he could write a letter or whatever. I mean, that shit led to this. Are you not going to play sound? Oh.
And I'm a furry juggalo.
I'm Dad. I'm a juggalo furry.
And we're the Snake Busters.
Now, first things first, I didn't know a lot about furries, and apparently I was a little misinformed, because apparently it's not always a sex thing. I thought it was always a sex thing. So I apologize to anybody I may have offended by assuming that the light furries are shown in the mainstream media was what I thought they were in their entirety. Just like the way that juggalos are shown in the mainstream light to be one specific thing, we all know that we are much, much more than that. So I now understand that furries were just a sex thing. That's what I thought. It's not that way. Imagine it as animal cosplay. That's the way it was explained to me. Cosplaying, but instead of cosplaying as a character or a video game person or any number of things, you're deciding to cosplay as an animal. Now, there is a sexual component to this, and I hope that that's not what anybody's getting here, because that's really not what's going on. And I don't want to make it seem like that's what I'm implying, because it's not. I just find it I found it a little odd at first, but that's because I was fucking misinformed. So now that I'm better educated on the topic, that is not what that's about. Furry is animal cosplay. So essentially, he bought his kid a costume, and that's what she wants to do. Now, let me speed this. Let me fast forward this a little bit. All right, problem number 2. And this was pointed out by my good friend Justin and my co-host at For Our Consideration. That's the Guns N' Roses logo. Like, it says different stuff, and certainly it doesn't have guns and or roses on it. But yo, that's the Guns N' Roses logo. All right, continuing on.
What are you looking at? My fresh mask? You clearly like it. I can hear.
Okay, first of all, whoever's in the wolf mask. Now, I understand that the voiceover for sure is Ruby Bruce. I don't really believe that she's underneath that drug rug and that fucking wolf helmet, but I could be wrong. But first things first, what are you looking at? My mask? It's kind of passive aggressive, but all right, it is kind of a fresh mask. And the cosplay community, they don't look for realism. This is almost like an anamorphizing. Animals with human characteristics, animals with huge expressive eyes, cartoon-like features in some aspects, and some aspects unrealistic colors.
Your brain talking to itself about how cool my mask is. Because this mask was made with quality. This mask was well worth the little money my dad has.
Okay, so there's the first of many, many, many references to her dad, Joe Bruce, and his lack of money. We've been saying it around here for some time. He asked Elon Musk, one of the world's richest men, for money openly on motherfucking Twitter. A report came out that Juggalo face paint can spoof and confuse facial recognition technology, which would make fucking sense because it's symmetrical and things like that, and it hides the contours of your face. Elon Musk retweeted that report with the words whoop whoop. An interaction went down on Twitter. Someone asked him about being a juggalo. He said, I like ICP. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla. He is one of the world's richest men. He's definitely one of the world's smartest. The dude is like sending rockets to space a couple times a day. I'm sure he's been to space, probably just ain't told nobody. He's the real life version of Iron Man. Like, like if there was a real life Tony Stark, it's that dude. So, after he says he likes ICP, Violent J hops on Twitter, and instead of saying something to really break the ice, something that maybe could have caught on as a tweet in the mainstream media and been noticed, something of maybe one day you can help us have a gathering on the moon, or maybe, you know, an invitation to speak at the gathering of the Juggalos, you know, about the levels Juggalos could attain in this world if they truly tried. Instead of any of that, Violent J goes right for the begging route and literally asks this dude for money, and then says that their pockets have been hurting quite a bit since their fight with the FBI. I've been saying this. Motherfuckers want to call me a hater. You want to call me a liar. You want to say everything's fine. He's literally saying it to you on multiple occasions how broke he is, and now he's got his daughter making jokes about it. You're being laughed at.
Dad likes to front that he's rich, but my mom says he's...
Hey, sugar. Hey. How you doing? How you doing? Don't tell that little kid her dad's fucking poor. That's mean.
...been broke since the 90s. I wasn't even alive when my dad was rich. But
she wasn't even alive. Like, I'm good at roasting Violent J. Y'all know I could probably roast him right out of his socks. This kid's got me beat by a mile. Like, kudos to Ruby. I really hope she wrote these jokes, because if she did, that would be fantastic. Hopefully she's just not regurgitating shit her dad wrote.
I think this mask was very much worth the little money my broke dad has.
My broke dad. If I ever called my dad my broke dad, he would have fucking backhanded me. And he was broke for real.
Mom says if my dad could rap better, he wouldn't be so broke.
Sugar Slam, if you really told that kid that if her dad could rap better, he wouldn't be so broke, salute and kudos, baby girl. You get mad love and respect over here if that's what you told her. Still child abuse, though.
All right, Rube, all right. They get it. That's tapped, all right? They understand that. But what we need to be talking about is that fresh mask, because like you said, Rube, that mask was made with quality.
Okay, and that's the thing. So they're talking this, the point of this whole video is about a mask that she's not wearing. The mask she's wearing is fresh. I agree. Apparently they both agree as well, but we never find out where they got that mask. We just find out where we shouldn't get a mask because they don't like the way they were treated and the way business was done.
You want to see a mask that was made with no quality? Look at this crap.
I can't believe I even wore that.
Tell them, Rube, educate these fools.
I recently got bit by a dang snake. I trusted it at first, but that was a bad mistake.
Snakes.
I tried to pet it, I tried to make it my friend, but I shouldn't have done all that.
All right. I get the you got snaked, but I don't understand the metaphor of her trying to play with it and then it bit her. Like, I don't understand that metaphor in this context. Like, there is a metaphor that you know, the playing with the snake metaphor, but that's got to do with people, not a buyer beware situation, because what you have here at base is what they call a buyer beware situation. And we'll explain that more as the video goes on.
Trusting that dang snake was an epic fail, because that thing bit me, and it bit me hard, right in my dad's pocketbook.
Ruby ordered.
So it bit her hard, bit her right in her dad's pocketbook.
What we thought was a full-fledged, high-quality furry suit. But in reality, what we got was full-fledged furry poop, because OISK snaked us.
Okay, now this is where Jay's confusion needs to be put in check, because basically they're saying that the company OISK, which is the manufacturer of that product, that suit, that they somehow snaked them, when in reality, if you notice, Jay never actually did business with them. Jay did business with a wholesaler online that stocks OISK merchandise. Let me continue.
They are snakes. We believe OISK actually stands for outrageously insane snaky crooks.
I know you're thinking crooks isn't spelled with a K. That's wrong.
But so is snaking my daughter right through my already weak and malnourished feeble pocketbook.
So that's like what, fifth broke joke. Look, we even got a picture with that one. I didn't add that picture. I didn't mean to freeze frame it on Jay's empty fucking wallet stock photo. But like I'm still like I'm just confused. I'm confused. So she orders this suit and apparently she somehow got bit.
Let me show you how these 6 snakes bit me. These are snaky salesmen.
Them ain't salesmen, Rube. Them are salesmen.
They're snakesmen.
Salesman. I really like Jay's wordplay in this shit. It's definitely better than a fucking for life crap.
There's some ratty-ass rattlers.
No swearing, Dad.
I swore nothing. I said Nan swear words. Nathan.
Relax and get schooled on OISK snaky ways. Number 1, in the picture advertised on AliExpress and the ubersnaky.dhk.com, the mask had 1 pink eye and 1 blue eye. But on the mask they sent me, it had 2 lame purple eyes.
What the?
So the eye color was wrong on the suit in the picture. Now, I'm sure somewhere in the description it actually said what it was. Now, there were some problems with the description as well, but it sounds as if Ruby's problem is not with the manufacturer of the mask or the manufacturer of the suit, but the salespeople at this All G Express or whatever the fuck website. It sounds like his problems with those people, not with the people who made the suit. As far as it having 1 pink eye, 1 blue eye, you can routinely change shit like that. Pretty easy. Most of these cosplay type people make their own costumes, so I don't see what the problem really with it coming with 1 weird color deviation. But on to the next.
So whack. Snakes.
Number 2, on the website it said you can easily see out of the eyes and mouth. But when it came, I could barely see out of the booger-filled nose.
Okay, so the description said you could see out of the eyes and mouth. But then you say you couldn't see out of the nose. Well, you weren't supposed to be able to see out of the nose. You're supposed to be able to see out of the eyes and mouth. Now, mind you, what probably happened here was that this little girl ordered an adult-size costume, and we'll get into that. If she ordered a one-size-fits-most adult costume, that's no one's fault but the buyers. They say buyer beware for a fucking reason. Make sure you know what you're ordering. Now, unfortunately, I don't think this child should be ordering shit on the internet unsupervised as it is. Because I know I don't let my fucking kids hop on Amazon and just rack up fucking bills on the card. If you want something, we can order it, but you're going to order it through me so I know exactly what the fuck's coming in the mail. If somebody had paid attention beforehand, maybe this would not be an issue.
So lame. Snakes.
Number 3, the website said you will have 100% positive response. And they said they would send you additional pictures if you want. But when the order was placed, they didn't respond at all.
Yeah, because you placed the order. The time to ask questions about a product is before you pay for it. For example, if I know my shirt is supposed to say Ouija and I buy it, and then my shirt comes and it says Ouija, then I got snaked. Snaked. But if I knew in advance that it said Ouija, then I didn't get snaked. I just bought a fucked up product because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Or maybe I'm just not old enough to be on the internet spending several $100s on fucking furry costumes at a time. Maybe not.
So stale. Snakes.
Number 4, in the picture on the website, the hands were sturdy and built well. But what they sent us was floppy.
Okay, from a picture, how can you tell if something's sturdy and built well? I think literally you did a lot of assuming when you looked at this. Maybe you got excited about it. I know when kids are into something how they get, especially if they're going to be able to buy tons of money. But just because you weren't happy with the purchase you made when it finally got to your fucking house, especially a purchase off the internet that costs this much money and is this big of an item, buyer beware, man. That's all I can say. I don't want to. There needs to be no Ruby Bruce slander. I don't think she's old enough to be slandered. I don't think she's old enough to be on Twitter, and I don't think she's old enough to be ordering several $100 furry suits without fucking supervision and then being told it's okay to complain about it on the internet. Snakes.
Cheap, flimsy, oversized mittens.
Oversized. Here we go with the size again. First it was she couldn't, the eyes and the mouth, she tried to see through the nose and she couldn't. Well, maybe it's because that fucking thing didn't fit because it was made for an adult and she's a child. Okay? The hands, sturdy and well built. Oversized doesn't mean that they weren't sturdy or well built. It means they were too big, which lends to my theory that this little girl purchased an adult costume on a site with no returns, and her dad caught her up and got mad.
Man foul! Stale! Snakes!
Number 5. In the picture advertised, the mask was standard size.
Standard size. Standard size implies adult size. Adult size. If it said standard child size, then perhaps you'd have an argument here. But here we go with the size shit again.
But what they sent us was a monster mug.
Yeah, because some people got big old nuggets. When you get to be an adult, you may have a nugget as big as your dad, and it'll fit just fine. But you literally bought an adult costume, didn't like the way it fit, and now this is the fucking response.
Mask big enough to fit 9 heads in there. And there was a crazy, annoying little fan inside.
Juggalo furry.
Wait, hold on. I forgot all about that part.
Number 2. On the and they said they would send you a
Snakes!
Number 4. In the picture on the website, the hands were sturdy and broad. A mask big enough to fit 9 heads in there. And there was a crazy, annoying little fan inside.
There was a crazy, annoying little fan inside.
And it blew right against my face.
And it blew right against her face. They put a fan inside the fucking helmet because those suits are fucking hot as shit. And if you spend like an hour or more in one of those suits without that fan, you're probably gonna die. Or at least dry out like a motherfucking raisin. That fan is probably standard equipment in an adult furry costume to make it a comfortable temperature inside the suit so you can enjoy long periods of time enjoying the suit. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I'm not a furry. Maybe some furries can help me out. Like I know that video yesterday got some of them over here by default, maybe some overflow. I understand it's not all about sex, but is it possible that this child, unsupervised, used her father's credit card to order a $750 furry costume for an adult? And then when it came, it just didn't fit. It just wasn't made for a fucking child.
Awful.
So stale. And that's just some of the things wrong with the super lame suit they sent. But thanks to them, my dad can't afford to make this video any longer.
Okay, so there's other stuff too, but we're not going to talk about it. We just know that they couldn't get a refund for whatever fucking reason, and that now they got to cut the video short because they can't afford to, you know, film it anymore.
All in all, we got snaked for $750.
Now that is a goddamn, like, I don't know about y'all. I'm not letting my kid order nearly $800 worth of stuff without knowing 100% what they're ordering. Especially if it's a non-refundable item, which apparently this was, because if he took a hit for that much money, it means he didn't get his money back. Similar to certain people who requested fucking refunds on previous shit from Psychopathic Records.
$50! OISK, you snakes are busted!
My fellow furry friends, don't order your furry suits from OISK. And let's...
Now, here's the thing, Violent J. As he's directing it to all his new furry friends out there, you cannot order anything from OISK directly unless you're some sort of uppity up furry I've never heard of, because they are simply a manufacturer of costumes. They sell wholesale to websites like the one you did business with.
You're trying to get snaked because you will. And we found that out the hard way. Take it from us.
The Snake Busters. And if you know any about snakes on the loose and you like to see them busted, hit me up on Twitter. Ruby.
All right.
Bruce Lee.
I had an issue when she showed up on Twitter because Twitter's recommended age, I think, is 14 or 16, something like that. But this child is not of that age to be on Twitter. Twitter's a fucking crazy place, unimpeded and unchecked. Okay, no wonder she knows what a fucking furry is if she's running around Twitter unimpeded and unchecked. I don't know what the hell this is. I reached out to a few people on Twitter to try to help me explain some of this. But from all fucking purposes and from all visuals, it looks like a child ordered something that was for an adult on her father's credit card, non-refundable status, and then when it came, it wasn't what they wanted because she didn't know what she wanted. She didn't know how to order what she wanted because she's not old enough. And now they're turning it into a thing. I don't know. I have problems with this. Apparently, I'm a hater for having problems with this. But it screams of Kardashian to me. Like, y'all should like whatever the fuck she does because we're related. That's some Kardashian shit to me. And I don't fucks with that either. Like, nepotism, like, the idea of, well, you should fuck with this person because they're related to me. They're my kid. They're my cousin. They're my brother. That's why you should fuck with them. That's bullshit. That's a weak reason. I don't appreciate going on Twitter and having the idea of little kids on there. I wouldn't let my kid on Twitter. Like, it's crazy. And then to be promoting it, like, go ahead and hit her up. I mean, this poor little girl's Twitter already had to put up with people hitting her up in regards to Ouija pre-orders that never showed up. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and think I'm full of shit. You can go ahead and call me a liar, call me fake news. Go ahead. Go to her tweets and replies. People were hitting her up saying, ask your dad what's going on with Ouija pre-orders. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me doing it. Man, I ain't hating on furries either. I'm hating on the idea that someone who's clearly confused about everything in his life at this point, 3-on-3 basketball, how to run a fucking successful record label, what a furry is now like using his confusion as a weapon because he's confused at who he should be mad at in this situation, because he shouldn't be mad at the manufacturer of the costume. All right, at the very least he should be angry at the fucking website where he bought it. And to be honest, he probably should be mad at his kid for ordering nearly $800 worth of stuff she wasn't completely sure was going to fit. Damn, I've been on this motherfucker over an hour already almost. What time is it? Was it 8:45? Oh, no, I got 10 more minutes. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to even do. I mean, at this point in time where you have so many artists on your record label that people have questions about, that people want to know what's up with ABK, what's up with Hoodoo, what's up with Light. You know, when you've got somebody who's got a record actively out there in Ouija and getting ready to drop a mixtape at the Gathering, when you have artists that aren't making money, waiting for you to decide what the fuck to do to get that money, but that's what you're doing, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful that's what the company, the resources, the time, the energy, and the focus is on right now. When it should be on trying to get people like Hoodoo, ABK, Light, and Ouija paid. Because, yeah, Violent J himself might have some money. He might be getting residuals. He might be getting God knows what. But those other guys aren't paid like that. They trying to get paid like that. And they have to wait for the company to make moves, well, with the exception of Ouija, on their behalf, or they don't get no money. So if I was one of their employees, one of their artists, I would say, well, what's the fucking deal right now? Well, what is this company? Is this Psychopathic Records home of the wicked shit? Or is this whatever? What is it called? I mean, they gave the kid her own production company, it looks like. It looks like they gave Ruby her own production company. Or maybe that's Mom's production company. Hold on a second. What's the name of the company? Give me 1 second. Because I don't know if you guys noticed that shit either. Bubblegum Orchid? Whatever Bubblegum Orchid is. That was the title card that came up at the beginning of that Snakebusters thing. I have to assume that's Ruby's production company. That's usually how that shit happens. You put the production company fucking logo and title card at the beginning. But yeah, if I'm on the inside there, I'm going, what the fuck, man? You won't let me put out Shapeshifter, but you're gonna put that out? So we'll see as thing goes along. I mean, I'm glad that it didn't devolve into no shit talk from him, but who knows what you guys are in for at the gathering? You guys might be fucking learning how to trace flowers. You guys might get like fucking Play-Doh time at the gathering of the Juggalos this year. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like everybody's been saying it should just be about the music. Well, where's the fucking music, man? And I'm for real. I'm trying not to shit talk. I'm worried. I'm concerned. This is concern. Motherfuckers think I want shit to fail. You're wrong. I want this shit to flourish. Okay? I want this whole underground shit to flourish. I want it to become viable. I want these things. And when I see shit like it's missed opportunities, man. Missed opportunities and squandered fucking time. If you're not getting upset about it, then you aren't a real fan. You're a stan. You'll ride whatever they want to do right off the fucking cliff. Now, I don't think he's eating right, man. Before we do leave, I will say the quote of the night during the Juggalo Show episode, the one line that really got me from Shag's Too Dope. You wouldn't eat a scented candle, dog. Like, that's the thing. I'm thinking this is the first time a lot of these dudes are seeing this shit. Like, missed opportunities. It makes me upset. I treat this like sports. I treat it like sports, man. My team is underground. And if my team ain't playing right, and if my team's going out there and scoring for the other team, or my team goes out there and instead of wearing fucking jerseys, they're wearing fucking cheerleading outfits and doing a dance, I'm gonna get mad. Because the underground's the team I'm backing. And like it or not, they're a large part of this team. I don't know. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I don't want to trash a kid. Like, that's not in my repertoire at fucking all. But Jay's decision to... This was a teachable moment. And instead of making it a teachable moment, he taught us that it's okay to just complain. Again. More complaints, man. We could make all the jokes in the world. I mean, the irony and the idea of him calling out anybody else for being a snake, it's not lost on me. The vendors at Hog Rock. The vendors at Hog Rock, I'm sure they would like an episode of Snake Busters. I'm sure you could do a Snake Busters episode on the 17 deeds that never happened last year. You could probably do a Snake Buster on the John Kick Jazz documentary. There's a lot you could probably snake bust over there. And the idea that he's throwing companies under the bus that he shouldn't be anyway, when he lives in a glass house amongst glass houses, quit throwing stones. Quit throwing fucking stones, please. It's ridiculous. I mean, at this point, I have to assume maybe he's sick. I don't even want... I'm concerned. Like, at one point, he thought the show was over. And he was like, oh, is the show over? And he got all, like, defensive about it. And then, oh, y'all don't want to play Ruby's song? He was defensive about a lot of shit. Like, nobody wants to challenge him. Everybody's being real careful not to challenge him. And I think right now is when we should. We need to challenge him. And say, what the fuck, man? Are you still good for the underground? Because none of this belongs to him. It hasn't belonged to him for a long time. And if he's going to be harmful with crazy actions to the rest of our opportunities, because that's the thing, every time that he fucks up, opportunities for the underground overall go down. Believe that if you want. I mean, you could... That's the way it is. If he would put on for the underground, and shit, if he would put on for the guys on his own label, there'd be far more opportunity and far more money for all of us. But right now, the shit's drying up. And it's because the Emperor doesn't have any clothes. Old fable called The Emperor's New Clothes. And the Emperor hired a guy to make him a new outfit. And the guy didn't make him anything. Just took his money and said, oh, those clothes are so special, they're invisible. And everybody around the king just said, yeah, they're invisible. You look great. And then the Emperor went and strolled the streets naked. And everybody looked at him and said, dickhead, you're not wearing any clothes. Someone's got to tell Jay he's not wearing any clothes. And I don't give a fuck. That'll be me all day. That'll be me all day and then some. Yeah, I can't think, like, I can't imagine that dudes on that label are applauding what happened with this whole thing. Squandering of opportunities, man, I tell you. But shit, we rolling in 10 o'clock. I want to get on with my fucking Saturday night. I'm sure you do too. The Beard will be back on Tuesday. Different Beard time. Different Beard channel. Same Beard channel. Where'd my drink go? If you're a furry and you have more information on furry stuff, feel free to drop that shit in the comments. Like I said, I'm not trying to trash furries. I'm not trying to trash that little kid. But tell me I'm wrong on that. What we just watched was a kid who ordered an adult-sized costume, and then when it didn't fit, that was the response. Them doing that video was the response to her fucking costume not fitting. Hey, Ouija got a new album out. Make sure you cop that. That Axe Murder Boys album, that shit's still available. If you ain't done so, cop that joint. Gmo Ski, Charlie and that Phil Factory, dropping in less than a week. 6 motherfucking days. Friday the 13th. On the personal tip, if you're in the Northeast, Hartford, July 15th, I will be in attendance at the Warped Tour, and we will be in full effect talking to people, having a good time. I'm interested in seeing Necro Goblicon, I think is what they're called. They have a goblin that runs around hyping for them, and I'm all about that shit. Obviously excited about Twisted, but I'm going to be in the house all day fuxing around. If you're in Hartford for Warped Tour, come say what's up. Let's see, the 27th of this month, I will be at the Friendship Campground in Palermo, Maine. That's 656 Fest. Bong. Weekend after that, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. Lars, Flatliners, Lex the Hexmaster, Apathy, Block McLeod, myself, 2 more people hosting. Mad shit going on. It's going to be a hella good time. And then, of course, Attack of the Ninjas. Bookings coming in all the time. Fall is starting to take shape. Let me tell you, October in particular is starting to take shape. And anybody who's been following the East Coast Beast Host knows October is usually my most exciting time of the year. It's my funnest time. Personally, I usually call it the Red October. My birthday is Devil's Night, October 30th. But I always try to book Halloween. I always try to book my birthday. You know, we got Rock and Shock. We got multiple Halloween and horror conventions during that time. Fright Fest. So, yeah, well, I'm getting ready to announce the fall. Probably in about 3 weeks. I want to get the fall announced before the end of July. So, if you've got work, if you've got shows, if we talked about me coming to your town in October, Memphis, I'm looking at you. Get at me. We can get it done. I'm essentially at a discount for the time being. But, yeah, I'm about it. All right. Happy Saturday, heads. I appreciate you tuning in on this special time, and I'll catch you all on Tuesday. Till then, the beard is spoken.
People call me arrogant, but that's far from the truth. I know exactly where I stand when I walk in the booth. Fuck all these rappers and the shit that they be yapping about. I'm a MC, I hit the stage and flatten you out. And if you pissed and you hating on the shit I'm spitting, you probably got some problems with yourself you ain't admitting. Listen, I'm trying to do more than just make a living. Trying to fuck with TC, now that's a bad decision. I'm flipping, they tripping, they about to be missing the kids on a mission. I'm going for mine, blowing their mind, giving it up to the haters that working that overtime. Anyone with an open mind can see that I'm dope and supposed to shine. Started out with nothing, not even a fucking rope to climb, but I'm on my way now. Shout to the people that stayed down. They let me out the cage and they about to feel the rage now. If you ever had a dream, I suggest you chase it, cause once it's gone you can't get it back, you won't replace it. They said I wouldn't make it, they said I shouldn't try, they said I couldn't do it. Fuck you bitches, watch me fly. I said I can and I will and I aim for the sky. You say that I can't, I say I can't be denied. They said I wouldn't make it, they said I shouldn't try, they said I couldn't do it. Fuck you bitches, watch me fly. I said I can and I will and I aim for the sky. You say that I can't, I say I can't be denied. I've been doubting my whole life and didn't quit. Don't think I don't see through your bullshit, you hypocrite. You smile in my face while you running your mouth. Bitch, you talking to my peoples like I wouldn't find out. Thought I wouldn't climb out, thought you buried me alive. When I told you from the jump, bitch, I'm built to survive. You can catch me on the road, state to state, doing shows. If you hate and quit faking pussy, let it be known. I got nothing to fear, get your career snatched. I'll beat the brakes up off a fake rapper real quick fast. Built me a click fast that'll crumble your bitch ass. They get humble when we rumble like they stumble through thick glass. Better hope you right with God, all that talking tough, cause I'll send you to meet him. You try to fuck with us, this is in-house, bitch, we got this shit locked, and we won't be denied, the movement can't be stopped. They said I wouldn't make it, they said I shouldn't try, they said I couldn't do it. Fuck you bitches, watch me fly. I said I can and I will and I aim for the try. They said I couldn't do it, fuck you bitches, watch me fly. I said I can and I will and I aim for the sky. You say that I can't, I say I can't be denied. Don't let them tell you no, bust your ass and go get it. If you believe in yourself, then you have no limits. It never happens overnight, you gotta put in work. Haters gon' try to hold you back, you gotta stay alert. I ain't trying to fit in, most these people are fake. Can't listen to them flow, Joe, I just don't relate. I'm doing shit they can't do, yo, I'm being mean. Every time I grab the mic, I do it comfortably. Jump on the stage and kill it, give them something to see. I make it hard to do your job and you hating for free. The more they talk shit, the more they make me believe that they see me as a threat and they wish I would leave. Too scared to chase your own dreams, so you doubt mine. Too lazy to hit your own mountain, so I can't climb. Doubt my grind, you got some motherfucking nerve. But in the end, everybody gets what they deserve. They said I wouldn't make it, they said I shouldn't try. They said I couldn't do it, fuck you bitches, watch me fly. I said I can and I will and I aim for the sky. You say that I can't, I say I can't be denied. They said I wouldn't make it, they said I shouldn't try. They said I couldn't do it, fuck you bitches, watch me fly. I said I can and I will and I aim for the sky. You say that I can't, I say I can't be denied. Denied, 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 denied. They say I'm cocky, conceited, arrogant, to name a few. That's his confidence from hearing shit as lame as you. So get your wheels straight, we'll get your Xbox, and your girlfriend becomes someone's next box. And I hope he rubs a face in the wet spot. You ain't fucking with a rookie, pussies get their necks chopped. And you know the wood chipper is your next stop. I'll make it rain blooded guts to the next block. I don't wanna fit in, I was born to stand out. I'm taking that, doing it for the fans route. They can't hold me back, won't stop my grind, cause I'll blow them off the map. Bitches bought that time, TC don't give a fuck who you click with. I'm the one in the shot that's known for that sick shit. The one that spits for the outcasts and misfits. The one that's at the top of every rapper's shit list. They don't wanna with T, but they gon' see. If you fuckin' with me, you're getting shut down. They think they want beef till they see me in the streets and they covered in them sheets, you're getting shut down. They don't wanna with T, but they gon' see. If you fuckin' with me, you're getting shut down. They think they want beef till they see me in the streets and they covered in them sheets, you're getting shut down. We ain't pulling on triggers over here, you're supposed to squeeze it. Proper mechanics, hit your target, Swiss cheese it. I'm the Windy City psychopath with the fullest cold enough to split the mic in half. Hating is motivation, been doubted my whole life. My catalog is dope enough to rock it the whole night. Don't get it twisted, think I'm stressing these lanes, but about to make it real hard for them to maintain. It ain't shit to hit the split and rip your frame up. You ain't into falling off, step your game up. Think you at the top, head back to the lab, cause it's my fucking spot, it's something you can't have. I got a 6-foot ditch with your name on it, in-house straight heat, watch me drop the flame on it. Consensus is we the best with this, straight to the top. If fake it gon' flop, bitch, I'm taking my spot. Watch. They don't wanna with T, but they gon' see. If you fuckin'